back in the high school game. It's been a while since you coached high school football. What's it like being back around these guys?
Well, it's great being back, and it's among other things, it's really, you see a true love of the sport with these teenagers, and it's been a lot of fun. This coaching's teaching. I've always thought that, and I think at this level, when you're talking about 9th through 12th graders, and some as young as 13 and 14 years old, really teaching them the foundation, the basics, and watching them progress. It's something that our whole staff's passionate about. It's been a lot of fun. Just in the few first days, we've been practicing to see their growth so quickly.
I know you were on the staff last year in a different role, and then you get the call this offseason to say, hey, can you come up and go into the big siege? What was that like when you were offered the role to come up and to be the head coach here?
Well, I think a lot went into it, and I think the timing of everything was probably from the Lord above in terms of how it all kind of came into with the staff. It's an incredible coaching staff that we had last year and again have this year. And I think the timing of Coach Pirtle leaving a couple weeks into summer, a lot goes in. Certainly, I think everybody would understand to hiring a new full-time head football coach for any high school program. So I think our familiarity as a staff and the experience that we have, I think it was a natural transition for all of us to remain on staff. And my son Ben is going to be a senior, so the opportunity to have this role his senior year is certainly going to be very special to me.
This is a team, last year was playing for a state championship. You're there, of course, and you lose some pieces off it, some big pieces, but you bring back pieces like Turner Murdoch at quarterback, J.D. Crisp at wide receiver. Talk about the team you have coming back and how excited people should be to watch Second Baptist School football.
Well, the tradition at our program here has been tremendous over the years, and I've always thought every year is a new season. So you mentioned a few familiar names or faces. We've got some new faces to the program, and then you think about last year's team, we lost several Division I football players, and really a senior class that had been together a long time and was very productive for the program. So just being now our 4th day of practice and first day with pads on, as I do this interview, it's been fun to see some of the guys that last year were maybe in a backup role start to step up, and we'll need them to. So we've got some areas that we're trying to kind of finalize and evaluate and see who's going to take over those starting positions and be productive for us with the production that graduated last year. And it's something as a staff that we'll look up and blink here, and it'll be our first game before we know it. We gotta make sure we're putting the players in a position to be successful.
You mentioned your career. You've coached at the college level, the NFL level, of course here in the city, University of Houston, you're the head coach there. What do you take from those jobs and coaching at those levels, and what can you take from that and apply to the high school level?
Well, I think, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, I think to me coaching is teaching, and this is debatable, but football is one of the greatest team sports that's out there. You got a locker room in our case of 70 plus players, and you got 11 guys on offense, 11 on defense. You got special teams. No one can play both ways and start and play every snap, so the backup's got to be ready to go in, and certainly playing the kicking game. And I think it's important also when you ask what I've taken from my experience coaching at all levels is I think genuinely caring for the players goes a long way. And I think when they feel that, that's when you have a chance to have a special season. So, we take a lot of pride in genuinely caring for our guys, and then being great teachers and making sure that we recognize it's not what we know and understand as the coaching staff, it's what we're able to teach them and get them to understand.
And finally, Second Baptist School is a special place. It's a special, very tight-knit community. What makes this place, you've been here now for 2 years, or a few years, what does it make this place different than any place you've ever been?
Well, it's different than any place I've been because I've not coached a lot of high school. I did coach high school when I was 23 years old, and then started getting into small college and major college in the National Football League. But I'll start off, I think when you're in the state of Texas, football is very important, and it's important to our families here, and it's important certainly to our players. Take a lot of pride and enjoy playing the game. And I think reference the tradition of Second Baptist in all sports, but football, it goes back a long time and had a lot of successful state championship runs, and so it's the expectations don't bother, I don't think, any coach, regardless of level in the state of Texas, because they understand the emphasis placed on it and the importance, and it's no different here.